Hi there, welcome to today's 30-minute yoga flow. Today is another one of the Astrology yoga series, and today's flow is going to be for the zodiac sign Scorpio. Our focus today is again going to be on embracing the things that come easily to Scorpio and really trying to cultivate them in a positive way during this flow. For example, Scorpio loves to get behind the motivations and to know the why behind the action. So we're going to start today's class by setting an intention, figuring out the why for ourselves. Why are we practicing today? Another quality that is really amazing in Scorpio is this sort of intensity. To cultivate this fire and power within ourselves, we're going to focus on our core. And finally, Scorpios are amazing at being in the present moment and getting in touch with what they're feeling. So in order to do that, this class is going to be allowing us to move through different poses fluidly and to sync that with our breath. That's enough explanation for today. Let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and meet me on the mat, sitting down in whatever way feels most comfortable to you, whether that's with a block underneath your hips, perhaps you're sitting on your shins. And here, just go ahead and close your eyes for a second. Notice that here you are. Whatever day you're watching this, the day or the afternoon or the night, you have decided to show up to this yoga flow. Why is that? Perhaps it's because you feel lots of energy and need to move it out of your body. Perhaps you're feeling too much in your head or stressed from the day and just want to arrive into the physicalness of your body. Whatever the reason, let's go ahead and set an intention for our practice. Perhaps our intention is just to listen to our body, moving in a loving way. Once you have your intention, you can open your eyes. And let's come on our hands and our knees. Shoulders are above the hands, hips above the knees. With your inhale here, open up your chest, look up, tailbone towards the sky. Exhale, open up through the back, sit bone towards the mat. Inhale, open up the chest, arc the back. And exhale, round through the back, separating the shoulders apart. Keep moving in between the cat and cow pose here, synced with your breath. With the inhales, opening the chest, and with the exhales, opening the back of the body. Notice if any other movements here feel super nice to do. Maybe you start to stretch through the sides of your body. Maybe you notice that your hips want to go back and forwards. Just explore here. Really dive deep into what your body is needing right now. And what feels really yummy? Let's come to stillness in the pose where we first started off. With our next inhale, twist open to the right side, right hand towards the sky. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, left hand towards the sky. And exhale, come down. Keep going, fluctuating here between the right hand and the left hand. Syncing with your breath. Exhale, both hands are on the mat. And with the inhales, you twist. Let's do one more on each side. And with your final exhale, tuck your toes and push back into downward facing dog. Hands are actively pushing the mat away. Heels are working their way towards the mat. There's a slight bend in your knees and hips are pushing up towards the sky. Gaze can be in between your feet. And here we'll go ahead and ask our body again, what do you need? What movement here feels so yummy? Go ahead and do that. Maybe it's pedaling your toes towards the mat, bending into one knee and then the other. Maybe it's twisting into your hips and pulling them towards the mat, getting a side stretch. Come to stillness now, and with your next inhale, begin to shift your body forward, sinking your hips down towards the mat and coming back into an upward facing dog. With the exhale, heels and toes go on the mat and you push back into downward dog. Inhale, shift the body forward, hips towards the mat, upward facing dog, chest opens up. Exhale, push the hips back, roll over your toes and come back into downward facing dog. Keep moving here through these two poses with your breath. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. With your next downward facing dog, stay there. With your next exhale, go ahead and lower your knees back onto the ground. Sit your sit bones back onto your heels. Just close your eyes here and notice all the sensations in your body. I am definitely feeling awake and alive. And that's one thing as Scorpios that we come to realize is that these feelings, these intense emotions and circumstances, they show us that we're alive and we're living. Go ahead and open your eyes, and here we're going to start to fluctuate through a camel pose, flowing through between sitting back on our heels and coming into a camel pose. How I like to do that is sweeping the arms from the left all the way to the right. Right hand comes to meet the heel and you rise up into camel. With that next exhale, Sweep your hands from left to the right. Left hand finds the heel. Come back up into camel. Inhale, other side. Right hand meets the foot. Camel. Exhale, sweep the hands and come back up. Keep going here with your inhale to one side, opening up the hips and the chest. And with the exhale to the other side. Feeling the movement, the flow and fluctuation. And the contrast between the opening of the chest and the hips with the closing as you come and sweep forward. Let's do one more on each side here. And with your last one, go ahead and sit all the way on your seat bones. Feet stretched out in front of you. Bring your hands into a sort of T shape, into a cactus shape, so that the elbows are in line with the shoulders. We're going to go ahead and place the soles of our feet on the mat as well. We're going to fluctuate here between some twists. With the inhale, we face forward. And with the exhale, we turn over to one side, perhaps looking behind us. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, forward, rising up. And exhale, twist. Keep moving here with your breath. Feeling the contrast of sitting up straight and twisting. Let's do one more on each side. And with your final one, come forward. Start to lean back with your torso and slowly pick up your one foot and then your other foot off the mat. Coming into our boat pose here. Hands can come wherever feels comfortable for you. We're going to hold this and really start to feel the intensity, the tingleness, the aliveness in our core. Hands can come behind your hips, behind your thighs. You can bring them out forward. Maybe you want to stabilize on the mat. Breathe here. One of the things that can really help us when we're in intense moments that we often forget to do is breathe. Feel the power you have when you're going through difficult situations. Great. Gently go ahead and place the feet back on the mat. Bring them wider than distance apart. I like to bring them as wide as the mat. And go ahead and come into a squat. If you can't press up, use your hand to get there. The sides of our arms, our triceps, are gently pushing into our inner thighs. Chest is pulling forward. Top of the head is pulling up towards the sky and the tailbone towards the mat. With your next inhale, go ahead and rise all the way up. Standing here, we're going to fluctuate through some side stretches. I'll demonstrate to you first what I mean by the side stretch. One foot is going to go behind the other and to the outside edge of it. That same hand is going to go up towards the sky, and with your other hand, you're going to grab the wrist And gently pull towards one side. So we're getting a stretch through the right side of the body. With your inhale, you stand tall in the middle of the room. And with your exhale, left foot steps back, left hand up towards the sky. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, right side, right foot behind, right hand towards the sky. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, right side. Do one more here at your own pace, with your own breath. Coming back to the center. We're going to start moving through some hip circles. With the inhale, you go in one direction. Then with the exhales, back in the other. Inhale, switch direction. And exhale, go the other direction. Move here, perhaps even with your eyes closed. Not worried about how this pose is looking, but rather about how it feels. Perhaps there's a sticky spot and you feel like, oh, for this inhale, I just want to hang out there. Great. Let's come to stand. Gently make sure our feet are underneath our hips, toes are facing forward. And just bend over your legs here. And ask yourself, what feels really good in my body right now? Perhaps it's again bending through the knees and opening up the hamstrings, one leg at a time. Perhaps you want to sway your upper body back and forward. Maybe you want to stay still, grasping the elbows and just letting gravity pull your upper body towards the ground. With your next inhale, place your hands on your shins, flat back. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, flat back, front of the head pushes forward. Exhale, bend over your legs. Keep fluctuating here between the two poses with your own breath. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, folding forward. Let's do one more. Inhaling, flat back, and exhaling, bending down. With your next exhale, go ahead and place your feet at the back of the mat, coming into a plank pose here. We're going to activate our core, come into our power one last time before closing off the class. With our inhale, we stay in a plank pose. With our exhale, we twist on our feet, right hand up towards the sky, right plank. Inhale, back on the mat. Exhale, left hand up towards the sky. Inhale, both hands down. Exhale, right side. Inhale, traditional plank. Exhale, side plank. Keep moving through these 3 poses, synced with your own breath. Let's do 1 more on each side. And go ahead and lower your knees. Untuck your toes and shift your hips on top of your sit bones. Bring your forehead down to the mat. And just rest in child's pose. Go ahead here and bring up the intention that you set at the beginning of the class. And feel so proud and powerful with yourself that you have set out to do, that you have done, I should say, what you have set out to do. Go ahead and gently rise up and come on your back, laying down all the way on the mat. Soles of our feet are on the mat, knees pointing up towards the sky. And for the final pose here, we're going to go ahead and move with our breath yet again, one final time. With the inhale, our knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And with the exhale, let them drop to the right side. Inhale, center. And exhale, let the knees drop to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Go ahead and keep moving here with your own breath. Finish off the side you're on. And the next time you come to center, go ahead and lengthen your feet and come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. The feet can splay out. The arms are resting on the sides of your body, palms facing up. Notice here again how alive our body feels. Perhaps it feels a bit more fluid, a bit more supple, a bit more resilient than when you started here today. Just soak in all those feelings here now for a couple of minutes, and I'll come back and guide you out of this pose when the class is done. Gently start to move your fingers and your toes. Your wrists and your ankles. And when your body feels more awake, roll over to one of your sides. Push into that upper hand and rise to a seat. Thank you for joining me for today's yoga class. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Sometimes it can be really nice to practice in this way, whether we have any Scorpio in our birth charts or not. To just choose 2 or 3 poses and flow and move in between them. Just synced with our breath, getting out of our mind and more into our body, into our feeling. I hope you will come back to this yoga class whenever you feel that you need to get a bit more in touch with yourself. Again, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.